What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. Getting ready to go out to the Patriots game here. It's a burden having season tickets. It's so hard. But getting ready to go out, and I figured before I leave the house, I'll bring you a little budget blade here. I'm probably not going to upload it until after, so this is probably going to be a video of a knife that you see after the game. It's probably going to be the day after, but this is what I'm doing. All right, so ultimate budget blade. We are looking at 4.5 closed, 7 3/4 open, giving it a 3 1/4 inch, actually a little bit above that blade. What this thing is, this is the Frost Cutlery Delta Ranger something GI, I think it is. You can try and figure that out. Yeah, it looks like GI, Delta Ranger GI. Oh my goodness. So it is the let's see, 18-808 Bravo. So there is the actual lettering for it. So now let's go over it. We have like a plastic handle with little rubber inserts on one side. Does have a deep pocket clip, which is only on one side. You can see that it does carry tip down. It does have a single side thumb stud, and I have to say that it comes pretty rough to get out, right? It's going to have to be worked in. I haven't been using the thumb stud, I've just been pulling it open. It is a spine lock, and there is no tensioner, so you're going to have to wear it out, but there is a lanyard hole. So you have a whole bunch of nothing, but it has a lanyard hole. What are we looking at here? We have a half serrade, and they are the sharp, pointy ones, so it will dull a little faster than the flat ones would. It is black. It says it's some kind of coating or just paint. Not exactly sure. I could have swore it said it on there. Here's what it says. Let's see if we can't get it to go through. Yeah, maybe not. Oh, there we go. So there we go. It has the black handle with black rubber inserts and the black metal clip and the black blade. So it doesn't say if it's paint or what, but I think it is. It looks like it's probably painted on there. But as far as a cheapy little budget lockback, I have to say it's pretty stiff, and that's actually a good thing when you're talking about a budget lockback. I just noticed something. Look at the jimping. It's two jimps. That is the smallest portion of jimping I've ever seen on a knife. All right, well, that way they can say, yeah, we jimped it. It's got jimping. All right, so they did a good job. So all these are rivets. You cannot make them tighter or looser or change them without popping it off and having to pop them back on. Let's see. Let's look at the stop pin here. Let's see what we can see. Oh, it's very small. So, I mean, it's built as, you know, probably a carry-along, and something that is going to be a light usage type knife. But here's the thing, guys. You can find these for like $5. You know what I mean? You can go on eBay and just type this in and find them for $5. You can probably go to Cutlery Corner and get like a lot of them. You know what I mean? For very, very low money. But let's see, we're not going to go crazy with the testing because I'm on my way out the door. But let's see. It's sharp. I mean, it cuts. Is this cardboard? Yeah, it's cardboard. But cardboard and skin aren't too far away from each other. You know what I mean? It's pretty simple as a cutter. That's not so bad. But cutting cardboard doesn't really tell you much other than the fact that if it cuts cardboard, it will cut skin. We know that. Let's actually take this little guy outside. what was it? The GI Ranger Delta Ranger GI. I don't know. I'll have to listen to it later because that's what happens when you put your thumb on the phone. I cut up the box, and B, I didn't really pay attention. So let's take. I don't even have any of my. I don't have my tripod out here. Nothing. But we're gonna use this guy anyway, and you're gonna see if this little budget $5 lockback is a knife. And I always tell you guys, a knife is a knife. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It doesn't matter, you know, who makes it or what. If it's a knife, it should be able to be used as a knife. So, just cutting away a little branch. It's like a piece of rubber, this thing is. But let's see. I'm actually gonna set you guys up. And then we'll grab a nice little stick here. Just finding stuff as we go along. And we will get a little bit of work done. All right, so let's see. How's this? All right, so I thought at first it was a chisel grind, but it's not. So that's good. So that means it's lefty-righty, because the problem with chisel grinds, and you get a lot of chisel grinds on little budget knives like this, you'll find that a lot. But they're generally made for right-handed people. And for people like me, that kind of sucks. So one thing I find about serrated blades is they make for great feather sticking. You can really, really open up a knife with a, open up the wood and get some good air in there with a very, very nice serrade. And even though this is a partial serrade and it's not the really, really good serrade, it's going to work. So let's see. And here's another thing about being lefty with these. Man, this is shredding. I have to say that it's one thing I love about these things is the fact that these little serrations are great for tinder. I mean, great for tinder. So I'm going to try and keep some of this on where I'm at, so you can actually see it, because it's just absolutely shredding and turning this stick into little hairs. It's like little fibers. And man, this is the kind of stuff that when you need to light a fire, you want these tiny little fiber-like pieces of shavings. And you see what I'm doing. I'm just going really fast, and I'm just kind of cutting through. I'm not going for curls and things like that, and it's not going to stay on the stick. What I'm going to do is just make myself a nice little pile, and that's it. Well, let's see. Let's knock some of that off of there, and I will get this beautiful, beautiful pile of shavings together. And now a lot of it's below me. I didn't do a great job of keeping it all together, but what I would do is just more of that, and you will see. I hope if I can look at this. Look at how fine this stuff is. Look at how fine this stuff is. I mean, when you add a spark to something like that, it just goes up. That's its job. And when it comes to adding a spark, the spine isn't necessarily a full 90, but the little end right here where the ricasso is, and that first part of the serrade, you can hit that all day long on a fail rod and use that as a striker, and you're going to be doing pretty good. Now here's something I just found out. When I was turning the blade, I was doing this, and I got close to my arm, and I didn't realize, but I nicked it. And this tip is so fine. I don't know if you can see it right there. I nicked my arm. Look at that. And the edge was so fine that I didn't even really feel it. That's right, I'm that bad. I cut myself with a knife and I don't even know what's happening. So but yeah, that's a pretty fine tip. If you're bleeding and you don't even know you're bleeding, then something is done right about the tip. So let's see here. I like that. I like a nice sharp tip. Let's see if we can try and keep some Nikes here. Some little Nike symbols. Because once you get all that small stuff, you need the big stuff to catch. And just doing something like this, where you're just rotating the knife in a half moon, like, you get a bunch of this right here, and it looks like a big just clump of wood, but it's all individual pieces, right? And what happens is there's a lot of air in between those little pieces, and when you get this little stuff lit, you take something like this and you put it right on top of that fire, and with the air in between all these, and these being so light, this lights up really, really nice. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get all your tinder, whether you're using some dried leaves or little pieces of stick or whatever, all that is going to work out absolutely perfect. And you're going to end up with a nice little, wipe away all the blood, put it right on the stick. You're going to end up with a nice little fire. You know what I mean? It's going to light really well. Let's see, I don't have anything solid to put this on. I wanted to split the stick. Oh, let's see if we can do it. Let's see. We'll just use this as a baton, the rest of the stick. That's what we're going to do. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm going to end up breaking my my seat here. All right, let's see. All right, so I would have to get something better to baton with and through. Let's actually try that. Let's go find some kindling, some small pieces that I already cut, and let's see about processing with this guy right here. What time I got? I got a little bit of time. I got a little bit of time. Why not? Let's go play around. It's just you and me out here, right? Just you and me. It's us two. All right, so let's go right here and put you guys right around there. All right, I'm getting really good at hitting accidental pauses on you guys today. All right, so we have some pieces that I already cut in another video with another knife, something probably a little bit better than what I'm working with right here. So let's turn this around. Let's turn this around and try to, I'll do it from here so you guys can actually see. We will try and get a little processing in. Let's see. Going at an angle because of a knot, but so far so good. It's still going through. So what we'll do is we'll back up because we're starting to turn into the wood. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hit it from the other side. We're going to finish the split just like that. And that worked out pretty darn well. Let's see. So can you baton to process wood with a $5 Frost Cutlery lockback? Well, I'm showing you right now that the answer is yes. You can take a little Frost Cutlery lockback and you can sit here all day long and just process wood. If you don't want to waste an edge on your main camp knife, you know what I mean, on stuff like this, on doing kindling, then having some attach it to your bag $5 knife is going to give you everything you need in that department. So let's see here. Let's see here. So now this is going to be good for spears and arrows and tent spikes and pit spikes and things like that. You can get all your little carving. Let's get a little notch going on right here. Wow, that's actually biting in a very, very nice way. I can appreciate that, because when it comes down to making a notch, you need a good bite. You need to get it in there. And this thing does exactly that. How pretty is that for a cheap little go-getter? Now let's turn this, we'll turn this into a square notch here, the old Lincoln log notch. And we'll see how quick and easy that goes. So, you know what I mean? And I tell you guys all the time, just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's not a knife. A knife is a knife. And every knife has its goods, and every knife has its bads. And there's, you know, certain knives you get certain things out of. And when you can take a knife like this that costs nothing and get that kind of work done, and it still stays sharp. Let's see. It's actually shaving. Get out of here. So not only did I just baton through kindling and do a little wood shaving with this, but after all that, I can do some light shaving on my arm. That's kind of impressive. All right, so there's something I didn't expect. There's something I didn't expect. The little Frost cutlery blade right here, whatever it's called, Delta Ranger GI. If that's what it is. So far, so good. I have to say that for $5, putting this in your bag, right, and going to your campsite, and maybe you have your camp knife that you do all your camp knife stuff with, and then maybe you're going to sit down and you're going to cook up a steak or some hot dogs, or maybe you caught a fish. Well, I'll tell you what, a little utility knife like this could help out. So, let's see. Let's see if we can get it to stick. Well, I guess we'd have to throw it right first, right? So, let's see. Okay, no loosening, no breaking. Let's try that again. Ba-boom! All right, so yeah. So everything is still tight. Try this one-handed little face. Let's it closes. It stays closed. Open it back up. Stays open. It's locked. The thing is super tight. I have to say that I expected worse, because I've had some where they have just been absolute garbage. I mean, garbage. I mean, like, put it on the tree belt garbage. And this one so far, this is all right. I do like their little spine locks. They're stronger than their frame and liner locks, and that's pretty good. So let me sit down right here in the old chair, get a little relaxation time. What do I think, man? What do I think? I think that finding these for the price you can find them at, using them for the work you can use it for, you'd be all right to, oh, look at that little spider. You'd be all right to have one of these in your bag and use it for that extra knife. You know what I mean? Or if you work in a factory or something like that and you need a box cutter, but you want a knife. You know what I mean? So it's just things that are good. This is one of those you can keep it in your car, and you go to your mailbox and you get your packages and you open it up as you get up to the house or whatever. It's that kind of knife. It just works, you know? It works as a knife, and really when it comes down to it, that's all you need it to do. You need it to be a knife. And can I use this for self-defense? Absolutely. Oh, there's the spider. And I was wondering where he went. It's a tarantula. Black widow. Her little guy. Let's see what happens if we give him a blow. See ya. So yeah, this little guy can be used on different things. Is it a heavy task knife? No. But did I just do a few tasks that shouldn't have been able to do with this knife? Yeah, and it worked out pretty well. Batoning with it, even though it was light, it didn't fold. Throwing it, it didn't fold. It didn't loosen. There was no cracking. Think about it. I hit this thing sideways, boop, when I threw it into that board on the first throw. It was such a bad throw. And there's no damage at all. And you don't usually say that when you're talking about these little cheap plastic lockbacks. Held up pretty good. So that's it. A little budget knife that I wanted to bring you guys. Just something that was sitting in my collection that I hadn't gotten to, and not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. I might actually take this one with me for the rest of the day. Can't bring it to the stadium, but even if I did forget that I had a knife in my pocket and they had to take it, I would rather it be this one than something else, my Essia Vispa. So this run right here I might just use for the rest of the day, and I have my CRKT fossil in my pocket right now, and so what I might do is take that out and replace it with this one. Actually, it's not a might thing, that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll bring this with me. That way, if I have a brain fart and I do forget that it's in my pocket, I won't care about losing it so much, but I won't. I'll remember to take it out, because I always go through my pockets on my way to a new game. And you know, if I stop at the Bass Pro Shops and pick up another knife and need to open the box, well, I got a knife to get a knife. Woo, all right. So that works out.
Good little frost cutlery blade. I'm Donnie B all day.